Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy. Bill is never in the background, but he's behind me. And of course, we may see an occasional cat. So this morning, let's actually start in a child's pose. So I'll mute all. So nice to be back on our mats together. So spread those knees wide, big toes touch. Extend those arms out in front of you, a slight bend in those elbows. Allowing the forehead to come to the floor. Take a big breath in through the nose. Open up the mouth and just sigh it out. Ah. 2 more like that. We breathe in. Mouth open, gently exhale the air out. Let's take 1 more inhale. Nice long audible exhalation. And then seal those lips. Allow that chest to surrender a little closer to the mat. And gently rock the forehead side to side. Belly soft, allowing yourself to energetically to come onto the mat. And energetically to come into that feeling body. And throughout the practice, connecting with our breath again and again. So let's take 1 more inhalation. We'll exhale it completely, keeping the body where it is. Bend those elbows. You can bring the soles of your palms together, taking a moment to set a dedication for your practice. Or maybe dedicating your practice out to someone that may need a little more love, a little more thoughts this morning. We'll gently allow those palms to come to the earth as we transition to our hands and our knees. And hands directly underneath those shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Just gently wag your tail side to side. And then we'll root our shins to the mat, drawing our chin towards our chest, rounding that back body, finding our way into our cat position, feeling the toenails as they connect with the mat. And on an inhalation, reach your heart forward, open up the collarbones, eyes up towards the sky. And on an exhalation, chin towards your chest, root those shins, press the palms into the mat. And a few more cat-cows on your own breath count, lubricating the spine. Encouraging that Ujjayi victorious breath. Inhale, exhale, round that back body. Let's take 2 more. Sip in the inhalation, eyes up towards the sky. Exhale, let that head be nice and loose. We'll take 1 more breath in. Let's exhale the air completely. Come back to neutral. We'll walk those knees in towards that center line. Extend that left leg behind you, toes towards the earth. That right shin is rooted. Lift that left heel the height of your hips, and we'll extend the opposite arm, that right arm in front of you, thumb up towards the sky. Gazing straight ahead. On an inhale, we'll draw that elbow in towards your knee, round that back body. On an exhale, we extend. 4 more like that. We breathe in, we squeeze, lengthen on the exhale. 3 more, moving with that breath. Exhale completely. Last 2. We lengthen. Last one here. Let's hold elbow to knee for 5, 4, 3. Beautiful, Maggie. 2. On 1. We lengthen. Lower the hand and knee to the earth. And again, maybe just swish those feet side to side, warming up that the side bodies. And we'll come back to neutral. This time the right leg extends, toes to the earth. Root through the left shin. We'll lift that right heel the height of our hips and extend that opposite hand. Left thumb up towards the sky. On an inhale, we squeeze elbow in towards knee. Exhale, we lengthen. 4 more, moving with our breath, rounding that back body. Exhale, we extend. Last 3, breathing and lengthening. Nice. Last 2, extend. Last 1, elbow to knee. We hold here, round that back body for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, we lengthen. Lower hand and knee to the earth. Let's tuck our toes under. Lift up those sits bones. Walk our hands back towards our toes. We're at the back of the mat. Take a slight bend to the knees. Let that head be nice and loose. You can find opposite elbows here. Relaxing the face. And just allowing gravity to lengthen out the spine as we begin to fire those hamstrings, shake out that head. And let's release our hands to the floor. So walk your hands forward, maybe a couple of feet. You'll find the finger pads. Again, let that head be nice and loose, but using the traction of those hands, just lift the heels off the floor so you won't fall forward. And on an exhale, just draw those heels back towards the earth. So we'll take 3 more like that. So we come onto the balls of the feet, we open up the arches. On an exhale, bring the heels down. Good morning, Ringo. 3 more. We breathe in, root through the feet. On an exhale, heels down. Last 2. We're breathing. We lower those heels. Gorgeous. 1 more like that. Spread those toes wide, find that firm foundation. On an exhale, draw the heels towards the earth. And we'll just keep walking those hands forward till we find our first high plank. So shoulders over wrists, always the option to modify, drop those knees to the earth. Finding that breath, navel in and up towards the spine. So the fingers are spread wide, rooting through the forefinger and thumb. Hug the muscles to the bones. Take another breath in. On an exhale, we'll lift those sits bones, eyes towards the back of the mat into our downward dog. So pedal out those feet. Shake out that head. On that next inhalation, again, we'll find our way to our high plank. Option to drop those knees. Find that beautiful long spine. Pushing the palms away from the earth. Navel in and up towards the spine. 1 more inhale. On an exhale, downward dog. Lift those sits bones. Shake out that head. Let's just pedal out our feet again. 1 more. On an inhalation, we find our way to our high plank. Gaze straight ahead. Take your knees to the earth. Untuck your toes. Let's use our body weight to bring our chest all the way to the mat. Elbows hug in for 3, 2, on 1. Find our way into our Sphinx pose. So elbows underneath your shoulders. Spread those fingers wide again. Feel those toenails. And just bring your chin towards your chest. And on an inhale, gently just lift your chin, eyes up towards the sky, stretching out that neck, and then we'll draw the chin back towards the chest. Inhale, we lift. 2 more, chin towards your chest. Open up the throat, relax the head back, soften those shoulders. 1 more, chin towards your chest. Lift your eyes high. And let's gaze over that left shoulder so the head is level. Good morning. Nice, we'll come to the other side. Gaze over that right shoulder. And just lower your chest to the floor, forehead to the mat, hands in line with your chest. Squeeze those elbows in, and we'll just lift from the back of our hearts, finding that baby cobra. When I heard those bones, Bill's bones were cracking. Forehead to the floor. 2 more like that. We breathe in. We lengthen. Lower the forehead to the floor. One more inhale. We find that baby cobra. Forehead down. Let's tuck our toes under. You can press through high plank or just meet us in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. We'll extend the right leg up towards the sky. Bend the right knee. Stack that right hip on top of the left. Hands are rooted. Lift that right knee a little higher, but keep your chest level to the floor. Now we'll lengthen through that right leg. Take a giant step forward into that supported high lunge. Right knee over the right ankle. And we'll find an easy twist, so the right hand up towards the sky. So tuck your thumb in, wrap your fingers around the thumb, open up that right wrist. We'll twist it in one direction, and we'll twist it in the opposite direction. Now flare those fingers wide, and we'll lengthen that right hand back to the floor. Step that right leg back. We'll pause in our high plank. Beautiful, into our downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. So our left leg lifts. We bend the left knee, we stack those hips. Flexing that left foot. Again, our chest is parallel to the floor. Now extend that left leg. Take a giant step forward into that supported high lunge. Into an easy twist. So the right hand on the inside of the left foot. Left hand up towards the sky. So we'll tuck the thumb in. Nice. Wrap your fingers around and open up that left wrist. Those left toes are spread wide. Please change direction. Enjoying our inhalation and exhalation. Now we'll flare those fingers wide. Drop the left hand to the floor. Now we'll step the right leg to the left. You find that halfway lift. Uttanasana, forward fold, and just unroll the spine. Take your time, our toes are spread wide. Extend the arms up, big breath in. Let's take a slight back bend. Our heart is lifted, let that head relax. And Uttanasana, we'll swan dive forward. Enjoy that ride all the way down, crown of the head towards the floor. We find that halfway lift, hands can rest on the shins. Open up the collarbones. Let's release our hands to the mat. Step or jump those feet back. High plank. Opt you to come to your knees to low. Cobra, maybe an upward dog. Downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. So that right leg is going to lift. We bend the knee. We stack the hips. Right hip on top of left. The right leg extends. Step it forward into that supported high lunge, into our easy twist. Right hand up towards the sky. So we take a breath in here. On an exhale, those right fingers come to the left side of your mat. Exhale. Inhale, we extend. Exhale, release. 3 more. We breathe in. We're moving with our breath. Exhale. Last 2. Let it go. Last one here. We extend, fingers to the edge of the mat. Find your way back into that easy twist. We'll release the right hand to the floor. Right leg back. High plank to low. Again, you can drop your knees if you wish. A cobra, maybe an upward dog. Downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Our left leg lifts. Bend the knee, we stack the left hip on top of the right. Now extend that left leg. We take that giant step forward into our easy twist. We take a breath in here. On an exhale, the hand comes to towards the outside of the right mat. Big breath in. Nice. Exhale. 3 more. Toes are spread wide. You let go. Last 2. Fingers to the edge of the mat. Last time we breathe in. Let it go. Back through that to that supported posture. And left hand down. Left leg back. High plank to low. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Soft eye gaze. Steady breathing. Let's take 2 more breaths here. You let it go completely. Last full inhale. Exhale. Look forward, bend the knees. You walk, hop, or just step to the top of the mat. We find that halfway lift. Forward fold. Sitting into our chair position. So dropping those hips, extending lines of energy out through the fingertips, energetically squeeze those knees together. Beautiful. We turn those pinkies towards the earth, draw those shoulders back into the socket. Let's sit a little deeper. More weight into the heels. Can you lift those arms a little higher? Gorgeous. We take 1 more breath in. On an exhalation, hands to heart center as we fold forward. We find that halfway lift. With control, step or jump those feet back. High to low. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Our right leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack the hips. Extend the right leg. This time step forward into your warrior 1. Left heel on the floor. We ride that breath all the way up. And we'll open into warrior 2. So tracking that right knee towards the right pinky toe. Relax those shoulders. Feeling the outer edge of that left foot. Let's turn that right palm high and we'll reverse our warrior. So fanning those right ribs. Extend that left hand. Feel that stretch. Take another breath in. On an exhalation, we'll find our way back into warrior 2. Now lengthen through that right leg. Let's find triangle, trikonasana. So we extend that right hand. Can lower it down, use the brick. Hand can be on the outside of the front foot. That left hand is up towards the sky. So find that connection with your breath. Let's take another inhalation. Complete that exhalation. On an inhale, back into warrior 2. Bend through that right knee into your vinyasa. So the vinyasas are optional. You can just meet us in downward dog. This is your practice, so make it your own. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. So our left leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack the hips. Extend that left leg, step it forward into warrior 1. Right heel on the floor, inhale. And we'll open into warrior 2. So again, tracking that left knee over the left pinky toe. Soften those shoulders down the back body. Let's turn that left palm up towards the sky and we'll reverse our warrior. So that left knee is still tracking forward. Now take that right hand in line with your shoulders. Steady breathing. 1 more inhalation here. On an exhale, we'll find our way into our warrior 2. Now lengthen through that left leg, setting up for triangle. So we bump our hips back, extend that left hand, and then allow that left hand to find your shin, the brick, maybe the floor. Right hand up towards the sky. So lifting through the kneecaps, engage those muscles. Any tension on your head or neck, just gaze towards the floor. We'll take 1 more inhale. Let that go completely. On the next in-breath, we'll find our way back into warrior 2, into your vinyasa. Again, you can meet us in downward dog, add extra push-ups, make it your own. And we'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Finding that reconnection with your Ujjayi victorious breath. Unhinge your jaw. Relax the face. Lift through those sits bones. Take another inhale. Let's let it go completely. Look forward. Deep bend in the knees and those hip creases. Step, hop, maybe jump to the top. We find that halfway lift, forward fold. As we sit back into that chair position, extend those lines of energy out through the fingertips. Nice. So tuck your tail under. We'll bring our prayer to our heart center. A full breath in. We lift and we'll twist to the right. So taking that elbow outside the right knee. Those knees are in one plane. Elbows are stacked. Feeling the temperature of the palms. Oh, Bill wants to find a balance here. So coming onto that right foot, can you lift the left toes a little bit off the mat? Find that balance. Nice job, Bug. And we'll take that left foot back to the earth. We'll come back into our chair position. Again, bring your prayer to your heart center. Full inhale, and we'll twist in the opposite direction. So that right elbow outside the left knee, those elbows are in one plane. Find that connection with your breath. Coming to the other side for the balance. I'm going to start by coming onto the ball of the right foot and just take that right foot off the mat. Find that balance for 3, 2, on 1, that right foot back to the floor. Finding your way back through chair position, hands through heart center as we fold forward. On an inhale, find that halfway lift. With control, we step or jump those feet back. High to low plank, cobra or upward dog. Nice, we'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. Rooting through the fingers and toes. Take a slight bend in those knees. Lift through those sits bones, lengthening out that spine. And just walk those big toes into that center plane. We'll extend the right leg up towards the sky. On an exhale, draw the knee to the nose, shift the shoulders over the wrist creases. We'll lengthen, squeeze the knee to the nose, round that back body. 3 more. We extend, squeeze the knee to the nose. Last 2. Knee to your nose. Last 1, we lengthen and find that crescent lunge. Right foot forward, come all the way up. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Gaze up towards the sky. So you can take that left knee to the earth. So not always trying hard. Sometimes we try easy. Let's bring that prayer to our heart center. Gazing straight ahead. We'll push off that back leg into our Virabhadrasana 3. So slight bend in that right knee. Extend that left leg up towards hip height. Right toes are spread wide. Take another breath in here. On an exhale, take a giant step back into that crescent lunge. So that right knee is over the right ankle. You're gazing straight ahead. We take a big breath in here. On an exhale, we hover that left knee above the earth. On an inhale, lengthen through the legs. Exhale, let's surrender. 3 more. Surrender, let go. Big breath in. Exhale. 2 more. We let it go. Last one, full breath in. Exhale, hover that knee, and we'll come back into that crescent lunge. So one more time, let's bring our hands to our heart center. Look straight ahead. We'll push off that back foot into Virabhadrasana 3. So maybe it takes a couple hops. And then level that left leg the height of your hips. Finding that balance. Nice, take 1 more breath in. We let it go. We take a giant step back into that crescent lunge, into your vinyasa. You can step into downward dog, add extra push-ups. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. So those big toes come into that center plane again. On an inhale, that left leg reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, squeeze the knee to the nose. Big breath in, we extend. We squeeze the air out, shift the shoulders over the wrist creases. 3 more. We lengthen and constrict. Last 2. Moving that prana, that life energy. 1 more. We lengthen, squeeze the knee to the nose, find your way into that crescent lunge. Come all the way up. So if your balance is challenged this morning, make sure you offset your feet so you have a more solid foundation. We'll bring our prayer to our heart center, pushing off that back foot into Virabhadrasana 3. So again, give yourself maybe a couple of hops. That right leg lifts, looking straight ahead, back of the neck lengthens. Find that scissor action with your hips. Can you lift that right leg a little higher? 1 more breath here. On an exhalation, step that right leg towards the back of the mat, back into your crescent lunge. Notice where those arms are. Can you bring them in line with your ears? Or maybe even just cactus those hands. Free up that head and shoulder space. So we take a breath in here. On an exhale, that right knee hovers. Bend both knees. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we let go. 3 more. Taking your time, moving at your own breath count. Again, this is your practice. We do what we can. We show up. 1 more inhale. Exhale, let it go. And you'll find your way back into that crescent lunge. So you're reaching through that right heel, feeling that gorgeous stretch on your right hip flexor. Now invite your prayer back to your heart. 1 more Virabhadrasana 3. So that left foot is rooted. Allow the right leg to find that area of resistance. Find that breath. 1 more inhalation. On an exhale, take that giant step back, arms up towards the sky into your vinyasa. Or skip that vinyasa, meet us in downward dog. Opening up those collarbones. Exhale, downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Reconnect with that breath. Working on that equal inhalation and exhalation. Can you take a slight bend in those knees? Draw those heels a little closer to the floor. Opening up those hamstrings. We take 1 more breath in. Let it go completely. Look forward, bend those knees, step, maybe fly to the top. Halfway lift. Uttanasana, back into that chair pose. Hips are heavy, lines of energy out through the fingertips. So looking straight ahead, we take a breath in here. On an exhale, hands behind you, lift those heels, squeeze those knees together. Find that balance. Heels down, arms lift, we breathe in. Exhale, hands behind you. Find that balance. 2 more. We breathe in. Exhale. Squeeze those knees together, engage that core. Last 1. Arms extend. We take those hands behind you. Open up the arches of the feet for 3, for 2. On 1, we find our way back into our chair position. Let's take our hands to our heart center as we fold forward. Split those feet hips distance apart. We'll find those peace fingers around the big toes. Halfway lift, lengthening through the spine. On an exhalation, elbows bend out to the side. Take as much of a bend in the knees as needed. Let that head be nice and loose. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Slow down that breath. So the feet are rooting you down. And breath over breath, maybe straightening those legs a little more. Taking more weight into the balls of the feet. 2 more breaths here. We'll take a final full inhale. Let it go. Let's find that halfway lift. This time, Padahastasana, we'll slide our hands underneath our feet. So toes towards the wrist creases. Can always stay with holding the big toes. We find that halfway lift. On an exhalation, soften those knees, elbows out to the side. That deep forward fold. So finding that rhythmic breath in and out through the nose. Maybe wiggle those toes, massage the heel of your hands. We have 2 more breaths. We take a final full inhale. Let that go. Gently release the hands. Spin your toes out on a 45-degree angle, and we'll find our way into Malasana, into that deep squat. So heels may or may not be reaching the ground. You can always roll your mat up, give those heels a little extra support. Now lift through the heart, energetically drawing those elbows on the inside of the knees. So we're going to go from squatting to standing. We'll take five of those. So on an inhale, straighten through the legs, reach the arms out, and we'll slowly bend those knees back into Malasana. We breathe in, we extend, bend those knees, hands to your heart center. 3 more. We lengthen. Last 2. Nice, and last one from Malasana. Let's extend and just heel toe those feet together. Hands at heart center, Samastitihi, pause and breathe. Take a quick body scan. Open up those collarbones. Toes are spread wide. Let's flutter those eyelids open. And let's heel toe our feet together, feet apart. So we're about 3 feet away from one another. We'll bend through those knees and we'll take our hands on top of our thighs. So let's take our right shoulder towards that left knee. On an inhale, we'll come back to center and change sides. That left shoulder towards the right knee. Beautiful, back to center. So just alternating here. Maybe you can drop a little deeper with those hips. Couple more side to side here. Left shoulder towards the right knee. Last 3, 2, nice, and 1. We'll come back to center. Let's take our hands out to the side. We'll cactus those hands. Let's lift that right heel and we'll pulse for 5, 4, look straight ahead. 3, 2, on 1, right heel down, left heel lifts. We're pulsing. 4, 3, 2, keep that left heel lifted. We'll lift that right heel. Find that balance, look straight ahead. For 3, 2, little shaking going on. On 1, heels down, we'll lengthen those legs. Nice, heel toe those feet together. Samastitihi, hands to our heart center. So let's release our hands alongside the body. And let's just roll those shoulders up and away. Adding a little more movement to that middle back. We'll change direction. Toes are spread wide. And let's just twist our spine out. Connect the back of your hands towards your kidneys. Add some energy there. For 3, 2, and 1. And we'll just heel toe those knees together, hands on your knees. So just moving those knees in one direction, gently. We'll change direction. Last 4, 3, 2, on 1, and then we'll come onto the top of the toes, gently just rolling that ankle, just working through some of that fascia.
Easy for you to say.
It's easy for me to say. And change direction. You've had a lot of coffee today.
It's normal now.
And we'll come to the other side. So you're on top of the left toes. Easier to do it on your mat than on the ground. Just adding some movement. Change direction. Nice, and let's just shake out that energy. And we'll come back to our mountain pose. And on the next breath, let's bend that right knee in towards your chest. Take both hands below that right knee, and let's twist that ankle open. We'll change direction. A nice tall spine, and we'll take that left hand on our left hip. So just opening, lubricating those hips, we'll open up that right knee towards the side, and then you'll close it back. So you can use your hand or maybe just move that hip joint without using the hand. If you want to take the full option is reaching through the toe and maybe just gently opening up that leg to the side and closing it back. So we'll take one more, dropping, bringing the knee towards the side or reaching for the big toe and finding your balance. So option to extend that left hand. Last part of the posture is maybe gazing towards that, over that opposite shoulder. So looking straight ahead. We're still breathing. On the next inhalation, take the knee towards the center. We'll extend both hands up towards the sky, flex the foot, use the core for 5, 4, nice Stacy, 3, 2, on 1, take that right foot in the inside of the left thigh or towards your ankle, towards your tree position. So hands come to your heart center. Find the traction of that right foot against the left thigh. Can you grow your tree another inch? Chin is level. Nice, and we'll add our branches. Inhale. Maybe gaze up towards the sky. Extra yogi credit if you close your eyes. Just notice what happens to your balance.
It goes away.
It goes away. And we'll bring our hands to our heart. It's okay, it's just a practice. Lower that right foot to the floor. Again, you can shake out that extra energy. We'll come to the other side. So we'll bend that left knee. The fingers interlace below that left knee. So just find those ankle twists in one direction. We'll change direction. And right hand will come on that right hip. Stacy has some help there, and we're just opening, lubricating that hip. So just opening that knee to the side, finding that balance. Maybe you can find the balance without your hand on the knee. 1 or 2 more of those, or finding that full option, reaching for the big toe, taking that knee or the leg to the side. You can extend that opposite arm and maybe gaze over that opposite shoulder. Take your time. Find that breath. We'll take one more inhale here. On an exhale, take that knee or foot in front, arms up towards the sky. Flex the left foot, pulse. Try not to lean back for 5. Beautiful. 4. You can support your hands on your hips for 3, 2, on 1. Take the left foot in the inner right thigh, finding your way into our tree position. Hands come to your heart center. So again, finding that traction of the left foot against that inner right thigh, lengthening through that spine. Beautiful. And now maybe adding your arms. Find that breath. Eyes up towards the sky. Extra yogi credit if you close your eyes. Nice, and we'll lower our hands to our heart center. We'll take that left foot to the floor. So let's take one more balancing posture this morning. So we'll find our figure 4. So we take that right ankle on the, just above that left knee, flex the foot, you can take your hands at your heart center, and we'll begin to bend through that left knee. My elbows are out to the side. You can take your hands to the floor and fold forward, or you're dropping those hips, finding that balance, look straight ahead. So maybe those elbows come down towards that lower leg. You play your edge. Take another breath in. We let that go. Now pushing that left foot into the earth, inhale, lengthen, come all the way up. Beautiful. And we'll just lower that right foot to the floor. Can shake out that extra energy. And you've got one more side. So we'll bend that left knee, take the left ankle just right above that right knee. Hands come to your heart center, that beautiful figure 4. Flex the foot, and we'll begin by starting to bend through that right knee. Hips are level. Again, that option to take both hands to the floor and forward fold, maybe dropping your head. Breathing in and out through the nose. Let's relax our jaw. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Maybe those elbows connect. Nice. And we'll push that right foot as you lengthen. Nice. We'll lower that left leg and let's step to the top of the mat. So we'll wipe that slate clean with the vinyasa. We take a full breath in. Forward fold, Uttanasana. You find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back, high to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. On an inhale, find your way to high plank. You can drop your knees to the earth and slowly lower the chest all the way to the ground. Let's take that left ear to the mat. Release your hands alongside the body. Just let go. See if you can take those shoulders a little further away from your ears. And we'll take the right ear to the mat, turn your head, relax your face. And we'll come back to center, finding Shalabhasana. So the first practice, we'll keep our hands just where they are. And on an inhale, we'll just lift our chest. Straight ahead, look straight ahead, and maybe take your feet off the floor. So finding that balance, warming up that back, building that strength in our back. On an exhale, lower the chest and feet to the floor and take that left ear to the mat. So our next version of this, we'll interlace our hands behind our back body. You can always use a hand towel to give your shoulders a little extra length between the hands. We'll come back to center and we'll take the chest off the mat and then see if you can lift the thighs off the floor. So a happy life is a happy spine. So we're building strength here. Can you lift those legs a little higher? Maybe take those hands a little further away from your back body. Nice. And slowly let it go. Take that opposite ear, the right ear, to the mat. So we'll take one more version. So again, we'll interlace those hands behind the back body. Put the opposite thumb on top. Come back to center. We'll take the chest off the floor and lift those thighs off the mat. Finding that balance. Relax that jaw. Can you lift everything a little higher? Nice, we'll lower it down. And take your hands back in line with your chest. We'll push onto our hands and knees, and let's find our way into a child's pose. So hips are heavy. We extend through our hands. Slight bend in those elbows. And again, just rock the forehead side to side. Maybe lick your lips. Enjoy that breath. We'll take one more inhale. Let's let that go completely. We'll come onto our hands and knees, cross your ankles, and extend those legs out in front of you. So we'll take our hands underneath our knees, setting up for our boat pose. So elevate those shins parallel to the floor. You can extend those arms out in front of you, but squeeze those knees together so you activate that core. And let's just alternate toe touching here. Look straight ahead. We're breathing for 5, 4, nice, for 3, 2, and 1. Come back to supporting the hands below those knees, or again, extending those arms out in front of you. Maybe you can extend those legs up towards the sky. So if you start rounding your back, find that support. We'll hold for 5, squeeze those knees together, 4, 3, 2, on 1, cross your ankles, hands by your hips, we lift, and 1 more Navasana. So again, find that support or play that edge. You can take 1 foot up at a time, maybe both toes, or all 10 toes, for 3, for 2, on 1, we cross, hands by your hips, we lift, and let's just come onto our backs. So squeezing those knees into your chest, finding opposite elbows, maybe you hang onto your wrists, but really contract those knees into your chest. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. And we'll lower our feet to the floor. So the knees are over our heels, our fingers just brush against our heels, and we'll turn our palms up towards the sky. We'll start with a rolling bridge this morning. So on an inhalation, you move from your hip points. Let's take the arms up overhead, spread those toes, and exhale. We synchronize the breath as the body connects with the mat. 4 more like that. We breathe in, press the feet against the floor, lift those hips, and just slowly unwind that spine. We'll take 3 more. We sip in the inhale, we expand. We squeeze the air out through the nose, back body connects with the floor. Let's take 2 more. Inhale, and slowly exhale completely. Let's take 1 more. Full breath in, and exhale, let it go. Just allow those knees to kiss. You can walk your feet out. Let's take our hands on our belly. Clean your teeth with your tongue. And we'll open up our knees. Second round of bridges. So we'll, again, start with the heels underneath the knees, palms up towards the sky. On an inhale, moving from your hip points, lift up the hips. You can walk your shoulders underneath, maybe interlace the hands underneath the body. Energetically squeeze that imaginary brick between your knees. Spread the toes. Can you lift your hip points a little higher? We'll take another inhalation here. And on an exhale, just slowly take your time, unwind the spine, vertebra after vertebra. Nice, those knees can kiss. You can walk those feet out. Let's put our hands on our heart center. Take a moment to remember that intention or dedication you made at the beginning of class. We'll open up the knees. We'll take 1 more bridge or full wheel. So you can take any version of bridge. I'll walk us through full wheel if you want to take full wheel. The hands will come underneath your shoulders. If you're going into bridge, just go right into the posture. Full wheel, we'll start by coming onto the crown of our head and pressing the hands and feet into the mat. Opening up that chest. You can walk the feet a little closer. Find that breath. And when you're ready, chin in towards your chest. We'll slowly unwind the spine, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of our feet together. Let's take a hand on our belly, a hand on our heart center, allowing those knees to open. You can support the knees with a brick. Relax your face. Steady breathing. We'll take another inhale here. Let's let that go completely. We'll take our hands outside our knees, squeeze those knees into one another. And again, we'll take another morning hug here, finding those elbows, hanging onto the wrists. So extending that left leg, keeping that right knee hugged in towards your chest. Let's take the knee across the body, extend that right arm. Maybe taking your gaze over that right shoulder. Coming back to center, we'll extend that right leg. And on that next inhale, hug the left knee into your chest. And we'll take the knee across the body, left arm extends as you take your gaze over that left shoulder. Maybe keeping your eyes soft or closed. Feeling the breath on the back body. Take another inhale. We'll let it go completely. Rolling back onto your backs. Both knees bend in towards the chest, hands below the knees. Let's rock backwards and forwards here. Massaging that back body. So 3 or 4 rocks. Into extending those legs, flex your feet, take your hands in line with your chest, open up those collarbones. So we'll bend that right knee. You have a fist distance between the foot and that left thigh. Support the right hand behind your right hip, the left arm up towards the sky as we hug that elbow outside the right knee and we twist over the right shoulder. So spread your fingers wide. On an inhale, we lift our heart. On an exhale, we twist over that right shoulder. We breathe in and we twist. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen. Twist over that right shoulder. We'll take another full breath in as we twist. Come back to center. We'll take a counter twist in the opposite direction. And back towards center. Open up that right knee, right hand behind you. We'll take a full body stretch. Left arm up and over. Beautiful. And we'll slowly lower down. Extend that right leg. Coming back into that staff position. So hands in line with your hips. Flex the feet. And we'll take a bend in that left knee. And you have that fist distance. A beautiful tall spine. Support your left hand behind the left hip. Right hand up towards the sky. As you take the elbow outside the knee, spread the fingers, and we twist over that left shoulder. So we take a big, beautiful breath in, and we twist. Inhale, we lengthen, twist over that left shoulder. 2 more. Extend, and we twist. Last one, inhale, twisting over the shoulder. We'll come back through home base. We'll take a counter twist in the opposite direction. And back towards center. Open up that left knee. Left hand supports. We find that full body stretch. Right arm up and over. Nice, and lower those hips down. Extend both legs. Release that extra flesh as we take a breath in. And forward fold into our extended Paschimottanasana, that deep stretch on the the back side of the body. So bending those knees as much as you need to. Slowing down that breath. Relaxing the face. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And take a final full inhale. Let that go. On an inhale, we lift our heart. Let's extend those arms out in front of you. And as slowly as you can, let's lower that back body towards the floor. Use the core. 3, 2, on 1, take up a lot of space. We're going to squeeze our hands, our face, our feet together for 5, for 4, 3, keep squeezing 2. Let everything go on 1 as you enjoy your Shavasana. Finding that next incoming breath. Gently sigh it out, let it go. On the next inhale, extend the arms up overhead. Spread the toes and the fingers wide. And on the exhalation, let's squeeze those knees into our chest one more time. Give yourself a beautiful morning hug. And as you keep those knees squeezing into your chest, just draw your forehead towards your knees as you lengthen out that neck. We'll take our head and shoulders back on the floor and gently allow those knees to fall to either side of the mat, curling up into that beautiful ball of light for a few breaths. We'll find our way to a comfortable seated position, eyes soft or closed. As you feel the effects of your practice this morning, and inviting you to bring your hands to your heart center, just acknowledging your practice. Inviting you to join your voices to seal class off with one beautiful Om as we sip in the inhalation. The light within me honors and recognizes the light within all of you. Thank you for sharing your practice this morning, and namaste. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for the music. Nice to see a new face. Thank you all.